All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
We the GMS New Orleans Saints, the Young Lions. Is this the Young Lions camp?
You GMS New Orleans.
GMS, we the GMS New Orleans Saints, and we here with a live Friday camp slash lesson. Prior to get started, we're gonna give infinite honors and prayers unto
Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us the truth, peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, you Akim, you Akwat, with your brothers and sisters in Hebrew that believe. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, and through the spirit, Jake was just meditating on a precept today, and pretty much this is what this lesson is going to flow, through this precept, okay, and ultimately, Lord willing, the spirit starts to flow, and we flow like the spirit in the wind, But let's kick it off.
Come on. This is Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Thus says Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
neither let the mighty man glory in his might.
Yep.
Let not the rich man glory in his riches.
Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 24. But let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, and that I, Yahweh, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth.
So the Lord will always keep us grounded. Okay. He will always keep us grounded, in these situations. Okay, when it comes to ultimately read that last part one more time.
Come. This is Jeremiah 9 and 24.
Uh-huh.
But let him that glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me,
Mm-hmm.
that I am Yahweh, which exercises loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth.
That you know it, Yahweh, that exercises judgment, and pretty much everything else that is said. Okay, but that's ultimately, taking, pride away from man, But again, don't glory into the wisdom or the riches, because it ultimately comes from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you got to understand that we have, the power, of the scriptures that created the entire, world, that created everything. Okay, but again, that's the power that we have on our side. So when it comes to these times of trouble, that's the Lord is expecting us to call on him, in those times. Okay. But was that was it on that?
No, it had a little
You
bit.
had read 23?
Come.
Oh, okay, come on.
It had a little bit more. For in these things I delight, says Yahweh.
Mhm.
That was it right there.
Done. And these things, I delight. What is it? Read it one time?
This is Jeremiah 9 and 24. But let him that glorieth.
No. That last part.
Come. For in these things I delight, says Yahweh.
Ultimately keeping the Lord first, okay, which is our duty. Okay, roughly paraphrasing, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, the whole duty, the conclusion, the conclusion of the matter to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, you brother got
I got it. I got something.
you got it.
This is Sirach 3, and start at verse 17. It says, my son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved.
Show that. Read that last part of the time. It's like I'm getting.
It says, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is reproved. Approved.
Approved.
Like the Lord approves you.
Kind. Like the brother said, that the Lord approve you, for being humble. Okay, because again, in order to obtain the kingdom, okay, we have to be in that humble spirit. Okay, we can't be in that haughty spirit like the 2/3 of our people, and ultimately like Esau, this damn devil. Okay.
We got some more.
Hey, see, that's crazy going into this, because I did a lesson on this earlier this week, and on keeping just a humble mindset, right? And the brother Kaya, he landed back off my lesson on how Yahweh actually had to humble his own self.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all brothers brought that up
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we was talking on the phone. Yeah.
And it's crazy going in there through the spirit, That's the spirit talking.
Yeah. The whole, the premises of why the lesson even started. I'm thinking about this precept. Jake, may be out in the world, you know, on a plantation, whatever, thinking upon the precepts. All right, but you know, just thinking about, you know, if things, you know, start to be okay for some brothers might get, you know, a breath of fresh air sometimes, but that doesn't mean that that's it. All right, that doesn't mean that, okay, if you have the wisdom, if you have the riches, if you have all this, that's it. That's not the end all be all. Okay, you have to continue and serve the Lord. All right, keep that thing first, and then ultimately, again, let all of those that boasting go to pass, and just, hey, know that you know me. I did this for you. All right, that's why everything always goes back to giving glory to Yahweh by Shemal Shah. All right, again, which is our duty. Okay, yeah, more now.
Yeah, verse 18, it says, the greater thou art,
Mhm.
the more humble thyself.
Con, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. Okay, you can't be in that situation of being in a high position and doing, you know, dumbass things, you know, that's offending to the Lord. Okay, because again, that's what it goes back to. It doesn't matter if you're in a good position and, you know, you just want to talk your shit. Nah, man, it's giving glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua first. Okay, you thank the Lord before you wake up. You thank the Lord for the food that He gives you. Okay, just being in that lowly spirit of just giving thanks. All right.
Hey, you gotta thank the Lord for even having the knowledge,
Huh?
even waking up every day to still be in your right mind and call on the right names, man.
Huh?
No, that's just a small thing,
Yep.
you know, of just being humble. Jake, wake up. Oh yeah, no, just, you know, it's not the right thing to do.
Right.
Just gotta stay lowly, stay meek. Yahweh Shai came in riding on the ass. Why? To represent what? Meekness, you know? Go ahead.
And I got some more. It says,
Yeah.
and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Verse 19, it says, many are in high places
Did you get that account?
and of renown,
Yeah, I was showing the
but mysteries are revealed unto the meek.
it's like
I'm gonna verse
one more
19.
time.
It says, many are in high place
Mhm.
and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek.
God, mysteries are revealed into the meek. Okay, so we got men, you know, that has all of the money, the riches in the world. All right, we have some of our people that are in these high positions, but again, the Lord hasn't ordained them the knowledge, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay, He gave them their consolation, He gave them their riches. All right, but it said that the secrets, the mysteries, you know, of the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is given unto the meek, the men that are keeping their head down, hands on the plow, and working.
Right. The scriptures tell you that, you know, not great men aren't always wise, man. And you know, they have men, you know, that's been given a high stature within society, right? You know, they so-called went to school, right? They got all these different accolades, these different pictures with all these so-called high-end people and all the rest of this kind of stuff. Okay. But they don't actually have the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim El Shah, right? They didn't take the so-called low road or meek road, which that's the road in which Yahweh Bashim El Shah wants you to take. Okay. And I got one more.
Yeah.
Okay. Is verse 20. It says, for the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. That's it.
Read it one more time.
Verse 20. It says, for the power of the Lord is great,
Mhm.
and he is honored of the lowly.
God, He is honored of the lowly. Okay, and they tell you that in Ecclesiastes that the rich sit in low places.
Yeah.
Okay, and you could grab it real quick since I'm paraphrasing. You know, what's that? Ecclesiastes.
I think it's is it 10 and yeah,
Yep.
this is Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 6.
Mhm.
It says, folly is set in great dignity,
Yep.
and the rich sit in low place.
God, rich sit in low place. Okay, so the those that are rich in the spirit. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, we are sitting in that low place, but again, that low place that we're in, you know, ultimately ordained to the first and foremost the 1/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, you are being introduced into, again, the secrets, you know, the secrets, the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. All right, of knowing remembering who you are. All right, remembering your duty as an Israelite man. You know, the construct of how the earth is actually supposed to be being ruled. Okay, that is being shared to the lowly. Okay,
I got a question for you.
you got it. Then you got your too.
This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 5. It says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. You know, and that's what we was going into. You know, Jacob get all honed in on the fact of oh, you submitting to another man, brother. You know, all this crazy shit, but submit to something, just yield it, you know, and that's a part of having charity. That's a part of having mercy and grace with each other, man. Right? Now it says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. They all of you be subject one to another and be clothed with humility. For the Most High resisteth the proud and giveth grace unto the humble. Got it?
Yeah, he resisted the proud, and you got me thinking about the in the Maccabee stories. I forget exactly who it was, but when your boy specifically had orders not to go out there and attack, but he wanted to make a name for himself.
Oh, want to die with the elephant?
The elephant landed on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a prideful move. You know, he went against the orders that was going to keep him alive, keep him in a good position. Because if I'm not mistaken, his position was supposed to be away from the battle.
Yeah.
Okay. But again, you know, just following those it's like that last part that you just said.
It says, for the Most High resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble.
God, give it grace to the humble. Okay, so he's gonna give you, you know, those length of days. Okay, which that comes with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay, of just being, you know, a servant. You know, being a humble servant of the Lord. All right, serving your brother. Okay, we know that it's simple things. You know, it's not grievous things for us to work for our salvation to get into the kingdom. Okay, when it comes to dealing with brotherly love, when it comes to serving the Lord, when it comes to doing the work, you know, it's simple things, you know.
Yeah, that's why it goes to having charity.
Yeah.
And how charity cover a multitude of sins, man.
Yep.
You know, it's better. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get it. I got one more verse for you.
You got it.
Verse 6, it says, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time.
So he will exalt you. So the Lord is really just waiting to see if you're going to submit. You know, if you're going to submit, into the Lord, he just said he's going to exalt you. You know, which we are, you know, being promised. You know, that is being promised with the crowns that are you know, spoken up in the book of Revelations. You know. Northern tribe, eh?
Yeah.
But read that last part one more time. Just another point I want to make for it.
Hold on, give me a second.
Oh no, so like you said about the exalting. If you could just remember that last part.
1 Peter 5 and 6, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time.
In due time, you know, because being humble, you know, the especially in this situation here, we're being humble in hell. Okay, we're being humble in a situation where we are witnessing other people not being so humble, and they are, you know, still living pretty good, you know. But being humble here, it deals with sacrifice, you know. It goes with denying yourself,
Yeah.
you know. And again, that's pleasing to the Lord. If you deny yourself, you know, just for a moment, if you have that restraint, you know, if you have that strength to just hold on. You know, the Lord, again, it just said that he's going to exalt you. You know, that's pleasing unto the Lord to see you suffer for him, you know?
But just like the accounts we brought out with Yahweh with Peter smote the ear off the priest, and he like, bro, what you doing? You don't think I can call 12 legions of angels right now? That's Yahweh being humble. Like he being humble is like, bro, I can call 12 legions of angels right now. What you doing? Same thing with Moses and Yahweh. He kind of, you know, low-key rebuked the Lord, like, Lord, you said you was gonna do this.
Right.
How you gonna destroy all the people? And the Lord repented himself, man. You know? But if the Most High and his son can do it, why can't you?
Yep.
You know, and that's the point that's being made. If Yahweh himself, he's sitting at the right hand of the Heavenly Father right now. and he walked in his last walk on the planet Earth, he walks as humble as he can. If he could have did that in his last reincarnation as a man, why can't you?
Right.
The Lord gonna exalt you in due time. All you gotta do is just stay humble. You know? Go ahead, bro.
Bro, if we talking about, again, the time that when the Lord walked, the spiritual powers that he already had access to him.
Yeah, yeah,
The water, turning water to wine, the walking on water,
yeah.
the miracles that the Lord has done, and again, you don't have to get the account no more if you still have
I
it.
still have it. I'm gonna get that.
But you want it
Yeah,
with
I'm
the
gonna
with
get
the
it.
ass?
Yeah, I got it.
So like, okay, yeah, I'm waiting for my point to get that done.
God, this is Matthew 21:5. It says, "Tell ye the daughter of Zion, behold, thy king cometh unto thee, and sitting upon an ass, and a coat the foal of an ass."
John. And that was literally, okay. Yahweh Shai literally pulled up on a ass, a donkey. Okay. But again, we're talking about the Lord who created the world, man. Who created the world and is talking about in Revelation now he's going to come back on a chariot this time. You don't think he could have came back on that chariot the first time?
Mm.
Like he could have been came back in some type of, crazy manner and been got the business clear. But, it wasn't time for that. The Lord, chose, the route that he did and also being a major example. All right. Because we, again, backing up the point that we just made, now we have an example written here in front of us of somebody who had all the power to do anything that they wanted to do, just like us in this situation. Hey, if I go work, I could go hit the league. I could go do this if I really, really focus on folly.
Anything we put our minds to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We're still, children of Yahweh Bashim Shai. We are still, very close in bloodline when it comes to our big brother. So you don't think that we don't. I mean, we show these powers right now.
Yeah.
All of the superstars that's in the league everywhere.
Just gonna say, just to add on to you, they're still princes of the power too.
Yeah.
But they're just acting in folliness, and
Right.
wickedness and madness, right? But they're showing their strength through, a carnal means.
But the point is, man, all this could have the Lord is just being that great example, man, of being that humble king, as he, was anointed to be, he still at the yep, get the beat.
This is the book of Matthew 5 and verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Plain and simple. Okay. And again, that doesn't go for the meek of you heathen nations. Okay. The meek in spirit, it goes to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. We behoove everyone, to come in that meek spirit, that humble spirit, that fearful spirit, because ultimately, that again, that fear is pleasing to the Lord. All right. In a time of trouble, in a time of when shit is really about to get crazy and you need some help, man, all the Lord tells you is, hey, just be fearful, be mindful of the things going around, things that's happening around you, and keep on working for me. And I got you. That's it. But you had one more behind that, right?
Yeah, I have my own concept.
Yeah.
This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 18. And everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh in Yahweh Shah HaMashiach concerning you.
For everything. Not for some things, not just one thing, for everything. All right. Even Paul, if I'm not mistaken, is Paul talking about glory in the affirmative.
Oh yeah. When you catching hell too.
Catching hell too. When again, because we know when we catching hell, we know that the Lord is dealing with us. And that's again, nobody likes to catch hell. Nobody likes the feeling of pain. Pain hurts. Anything that hurts, the body naturally avoids it. So, but again, we know dealing with that pain that the Lord is ultimately making us stronger in a sense.
Yeah, because with true strength, right? The basically, the trials and tribulations, the things we go through.
Mhm.
When the fire comes,
is going to try our spirits, and that's what strengthens us.
Mhm.
You know, and at the end, after you pass the trial, you become stronger. You know, how can you become stronger in the spirit without any affliction?
Right.
Right. That's the whole point of that's how you become stronger is to be afflicted.
What's the saying? I feel like somebody said the saying around me, but it was like something don't grow. I think you might have said it. You said Kaya told you something about it was a quote. It don't something don't grow around just without think of like in a soft environment. Like it has to be. I can't think of it. It's gonna come. I'm paraphrasing this shit bad as
If
a
you say
motherfucker right.
like one of the right words, I'm probably gonna remember it.
Yeah, man.
It's all good.
God damn it. But so like that was it on your precept. You got it, bro.
You want to return? Okay, this is another account, you know, backing you brothers up with Yahweh Shai. All right, this is Matthew 8 and verse 1 points and 4 says, when he was come down from the mountains, great multitudes followed him, and behold, there came a leper and worshiped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. Verse 3, and it says, and Yahweh Shai put his hand and touched him, saying, I will be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. Verse 4, this is the point.
Mhm.
And Yahweh Shai said unto him, see thou tell no man, but go thy way, show thyself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded for the testimony unto them.
So that's basically explaining a miracle that the Lord did, you know, clearing leprosy, you know, which is leprosy, if you don't know, is the impigment of the skin. Is that the correct word? Lack of pigmentation in the skin. Okay.
Yeah, but the Lord could have easily took all the glory there.
Yeah.
He
Don't
he
tell
said-
nobody.
right, but he said, see thou tell no man, you know. And I believe there's another account, if I'm not mistaken, and then anybody could correct me, where he healed the blind man.
Mhm.
And he told him, I believe the same thing, but he told everybody. He went ran out, you know, told everybody. Got it.
Oh, you said get St. John chapter 5. It's like it 14 and 12.
All right. This is the slide.
Backing up to another point, you know, that everybody just made. Mm-hmm. St. John chapter 14 and 12.
This is the book of John, chapter 14 and verse 12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also.
Mm-hmm.
And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father.
And I brought that out, you know, pretty much to back up the point of, you know, the Lord humbling himself, you know, and that point of not of taking the what's the word, taking the credit, you know, of healing the guy of leprosy, you know. But again, that's promised, that those powers, you know, is promised to the men of the Lord, you know. Those that believe into Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai and is doing these works, man. It tells you here that we're going to do greater works than him. All right, we're going to have access to those powers as well. Okay, spiritual powers is spoken of in the Bible, you know, contrary to popular belief, you know. But brother got a
Yeah, I have one.
sure.
And Amiga, will point to your point, right? Just going into everything we've been talking about the humility. Like when you know, because we're about to get those spiritual powers, right? But in Ecclesiastes, where is it, 7, it said, I have seen servants upon horses,
Yeah.
and princes walking the earth.
Yeah.
So we're going through one of those phases, like, you know, like Yahweh Shai did, right? We're gonna get these glorious bodies, we're gonna get these spiritual powers in due time. But the Lord brought us all the way down, from being a kingly people to servants, man, to slaves. All right, but through it all, we're gonna be able to gain that glory, all right, through what fight through the mud. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna build our way back up, all right? But that's true humility.
15.
All right, because the men of the Lord on this side, we're practicing that humility. All right, look at us right now. All right, we go out on the highways and byways. All right, people say we got dresses on. People say we look like people say we don't get linings, and so on and so forth. All right, we made a ridicule of, all right, to the world, but at the end of the day, we're gonna be the ones who receive salvation, all right, because we took on that ultimate place of humility, like Yahweh Shai did. But this real quick though, this Philippians 2:7. I'm gonna start up, bro. I'm gonna start at 3. It says, "Let nothing be done through strife." I'm gonna start at 4. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore the Most High also had highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name. All right, so we in a battle of, you know, humility. All right, that's a whole nother battle in itself, man. All right, we have our Lord and Savior, all right, who literally was a god. He was a god, right? But it said he humbled himself and took on a likeness of a man, all right, and was obedient unto death. Come on, man. What God? If anybody was given those type of powers, who do you know would go die
Right.
and submit himself unto death, man?
Yeah.
That's the ultimate, signal of humility.
Talking about a man that literally was healing people from death.
Yeah.
And he went died.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I've been healing the sick, the poor. I woke a little girl up from being dead. I told her, lady, get up. And she got up.
Uh-huh.
But everybody, oh, she dead. He can't do nothing for it. Man, get up, man. Wake up. Go ahead.
And I gotta die.
And I gotta die.
Right.
And then I gotta be crucified by people who ain't even these men.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What kind of humility is that, man? That's crazy.
Yeah.
We gotta go, bro.
Man, light shot on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But you mentioned in that preach that would have been fire when came out earlier. When we was talking about Yahweh Shai and the Legion of Angels that he could have did.
Yep.
You know. But again, Yahweh Shai, he said of no reputation. Read that part. That preacher was talking about.
Get that in the because I brought in the lesson, I brought that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I gotta check it out now.
Yeah. Hey, get that word of no reputation.
The blue letter.
Yeah, in the what's we call it, and get it in the NLT too.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to read that over though?
Yeah.
Let one of them brothers get it out.
Come.
Bring it down.
Philippians,
No, I was about to read it.
Oh,
Read along with it.
it's Philippians 2:7. It says, but made himself of no reputation,
Mm-hmm.
and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross.
God. Look, and that goes land back into got that back. But again, humbling himself even to the point of carrying that cross. Okay? Because again, what this brother about to bring out, the Lord pretty much again letting everybody know that, hey, I am this example, and hey, y'all gotta do this too.
exactly.
You better do this.
The servant not greater than the Lord.
That's what we got.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Which one you say you wanted again?
Carry the cross.
Yeah, like two of them, two different ones.
That should have been it. The servant wasn't great in his mercy.
Oh, that's in John 15. Servant's not greater than
I mixed two of them up. I did. He got it.
Remember, yeah, you want the verse 20, reserve not greater than the master.
Yep.
All right, this is John 15 and verse 20. It says, remember the word that I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also.
Con. But you know, the point was, you know, the servant wasn't, you know, greater than his master. You know, whatever, you know, pretty much Yahweh Shai went through. You know, if you are a follower, if you're a true follower of Yahweh Shai, you have to know that you have to go through that same thing. Huh? You know, but it was actually Matthew. Which one you was on? You was on 16.
16 and 24. But they have another one on Matthew 11. and 28.
Yeah, 16 or 24 would have been
16 and
good.
24.
Yeah.
This is Matthew 16 and verse 24. It says, then answered Yahweh Shai unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself
Mm-hmm.
and take up his cross and follow me.
God. And to deny himself, you know, that's basically another word of saying he gotta humble himself. You know, he gotta put himself in his place. You know, to work. You know, because how does it feel? You know, to know that you're royalty. You know, we seen it in the movies, man. Eddie Murphy, coming to America. You know, we seen that bullshit of a prince coming to America to work. That's bullshit, man.
My son works.
Come on, man.
Fuck.
Well, you got some more?
Do you want to know on that?
I thought where you stopped at? You could have went down to lose his life for my sake.
25. All right, verse 25.
Or 26. Go down to 26.
All right, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it,
Mhm.
and whosoever will lose his life for my name's sake shall find it.
Con. For whosoever should save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Okay? You know, humbling yourself and putting, you know, that extraordinary life that you once dreamed of to the side, you know, for greater and better things ultimately. You know? You keep going.
For
You
what
can
is
read
a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? For or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
This probably started entering to be one of my favorite precepts to meditate on, because this is one of those precepts that's always going to keep you grounded, you know, especially us knowing and having, you know, constantly to remind ourselves that, hey, man, this is it. And it ain't nothing else out here, you know? So that moment that Satan starts to play with you a little bit and you start thinking about a little bit more of making it in this world, you know, you got to wind that back. Hey, take that back and know that, hey, man, if I actually submit to this, I'm about to lose my soul.
Yeah.
You know, just for this slight moment. All right.
For what have it profited a man?
Right.
To gain the world, to lose his own soul.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you, for the love of things, the love of money, the love of striving to be something in the world,
Mhm.
those things gonna take you away from it. Why? Because you're not having that thought that, like, man, I'm tripping. I need to humble down, get back to my roots. You know what I'm saying? But you got it, bro.
Yeah. And then it ultimately, if I can say real quick, you know, that goes back, because we're talking about followers, we're talking about disciples. What the being a disciple go back to? Being disciplined.
Discipline. Yeah.
Okay. So
Oh, yeah.
being humble, you know, it falls in the same boat of being disciplined.
Mhm.
All right. If you're being disciplined, you know, doing the things that you need to do, good job. That's it.
Hey, and it coincides so well being humble and being disciplined, because when you be disciplined, you automatically be humble.
That's right.
Like, being disciplined is doing what you have to do, or what you need to do over what you want to do. All right, so you constantly got to tell your flesh, I'm not doing this, I can't do this, I can't do this. Why? All right, because it's gonna take away from the inner man. All right, and the inner man that's the man, you know, that's the closest to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so that's the ultimate form of humility. Again, you got it.
I had did a lesson a while back. It was something about, it was quoted about discipline. I think I got it written down somewhere. Let me see real quick. Discipline is choosing between what you discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most.
Right.
So
That's heavy.
knowing, you know, what we want most is get the fuck out of here, to get the kingdom, to have our family members in the right mind, you know, to not have to work no more. You know what it says in a Sirach, you know, seeing the fall of our enemies and seeing, you know, our children flourish, you know, roughly paraphrasing,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I got some.
You got
Yep. This First Corinthians 9:26. It says, I'll start at 25. It says, and every man that striveth for the mastery
mhm,
is temperate in all things. With that word temperate goes into what? Being disciplined,
mhm,
having a modification of what I'm doing. All right, I'm doing that too much. I'm tripping. All right, I don't need to do this at all.
uh,
You know, that's discipline. But the flesh, like Yahweh Shai said, though, the flesh is weak.
mhm,
The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak, man.
mhm.
You know, but it says, lest there by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself, or so like I skipped a whole bunch. It says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things, and now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
We an incorruptible crown, man. We know ain't nothing gonna touch this crown, man. You know, but again, discipline is emphasized, you know, and especially, you know, it being tough in a sense because we're in the flesh, you know, and we have to deal with matters, a lot of matters in the world, you know, dealing with ailments, dealing with you know, basically we got the whole world against us at this point,
Yeah.
you know, along with demons messing with us and everything. So it's a lot going on, you know, but ultimately, you know, just it's like I'm having a goddamn thing for it.
I had something I wanted to say just to
Go ahead.
back you up. You know, with us being in this flesh, you know, and the brothers talking about it, you know, being tempted by Satan. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not going to stop coming, right? He's always on the mode of the prophets telling them, hey man, you care for a tree,
Right.
you know, and if you take that tree, you know, it'll lead you down a slippery slope and really fast, or it can.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get it wrong. We do have to balance everything, right? We stay in the spirit as much as we possibly can,
Oh.
but you're gonna be out of the spirit too as well, right? You know, you don't want to overdo the spirit and you don't want to overdo the flesh. You know, you gotta be balanced with it.
You got to be balanced in what it tells you, you know, not having many matters.
Mhm.
Okay, you know, keeping things simple, you know, because that's an easier way to be disciplined, you know, keeping simple things, you know, keeping simple business, you know, because if you could keep the Lord's business first and you keep it, you know, as broad as possible, you know, it eliminates stress around in every other area, you know.
I have more.
Oh, you got more than that? Go ahead, Salakia.
This is First Corinthians 9:26. It says, I therefore so run, not uncertainly,
Mm-hmm.
so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep my body and bring it into subjection,
Mm-hmm.
lest that by any means, when I myself, so like when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
Trying keeping your body in subjection. Okay, that's ultimately, you know, what we have to do every day. You know, because I think the brother roughly paraphrased it already. But you know, the flesh is weak, man. You know, the spirit is willing and the flesh is weak. You know, so you know when it comes to overcoming these things, you know, you have to stay grounded, man. You know, stay close to the Lord ultimately. You know, it's because the Lord is going to give you those powers to ultimately, you know, overcome. You know, you don't want to be a castaway. You don't want to pretty much be a hypocrite. You know, you don't want to, you know, and I when we make these lessons, you know, we speak to ourselves first and foremost. You know, so if I'm bringing this out, you know, I don't want to be here telling everybody about, you know, chasing the incorruptible crown and I myself being a castaway. You know, pretty much is what Paul was saying. You
Not
know,
keeping your body in subjection.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You really took to grab the.
This is 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5.
Mhm.
Examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith.
Mhm.
Prove your own self. Know ye not your own self, how that Yahushua Hamashiach is in you, except you be reprobate.
God, examine ourselves, okay? And that's the one of the biggest tests that tasks that we have here, man. Because again, we're with ourselves 24/7, man. All right. And constantly learning new things about ourselves, it's constantly growing, you know. But to read that last part one more time.
This is 2 Corinthians 13:5. Uh, know ye not your own self, how that Yahushua Hamashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates.
God. The Lord is with us, man. All right. When it comes, I forget roughly paraphrasing that precept when it talks about the Lord basically doesn't do anything evil to you. No,
Oh yeah, he tempt no man.
he tempt no man.
James 1,
Yeah, yeah. If you was ever tempted, don't say that you was tempted of the Lord.
1 and 12.
Con, you know?
13.
You want it?
Yeah, Baba Bashar. You gotta, yeah. No, that was the twinkling in the eye. You could cut that. You can cut that.
You got it. James, it's chapter 1, and I'm gonna get verse 12. I'm gonna start at 12.
Go ahead.
It says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord had promised to them that love him.
Hmm.
And let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Yahweh. For Yahweh cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man."
It's crazy how many of these words, are synonyms to each other.
Yeah.
Enduring, suffering, humbling, discipline, you know. And what it say to read that last part again?
It says,
That no man tempted.
"For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man."
God, neither he tempted any man. All right. So when it comes to us, fighting this flesh, man, it's not the Lord doing evil upon us.
Mhm.
All right. It's us, having to fight through the trials that is being put in front of us.
Yep.
And that's it, and then roughly paraphrasing when it says in Corinthians. Obviously, if it's being placed in front of us, it's placed in front of us for us to overcome.
Mhm. I have that in Corinthians too,
Come.
but I got more.
Yeah.
Verse 14, it says, "But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed."
Yeah. So the moment that you lose sight of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, all right, the moment that mammon becomes your God, and that life that you always wanted becomes your God, all right, that's when you're gonna fall under those demons heavily, man. All right. And the Lord ain't got nothing to do with that, man. All right. The Lord ain't got nothing to do with that. When it comes to increasing, all right, when it comes to that protection of continue to push his men, that's what the Lord is all about. All right.
And what the Most High got to do with tempting you?
Right.
Like, what pleasure do I have to do that?
Right.
No, you tempted after when things come about, right? Like Satan said, has thou considered thy servant Job? One that is true and evil, and with that bet that he made, but with Satan working on the left hand, So what's the Lord got to do to go and I'm gonna do this so I can tempt you?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
you tempted when you drawn away of your own lust, the things that you like to enjoy, right? And that becomes overindulging in it. You ain't do no lessons, you ain't read a chapter, you ain't watched a video, but you just up here indulging in something that you like to do,
Right.
a hobby,
Yep.
That's being enticed,
Yeah.
That's being drawn away after your own lust, man.
Yep. And that's what you just mentioned. That's mocking, unto the Lord. Thinking that of him, of that power, again, that you just said that he's gonna just tempt you. That's what you gotta say for.
Yeah.
You gotta say to the demons to go handle that. The Lord got bigger fish to fry, man. He's gathering his elect. He's not scattering his sheep no more.
Exactly.
Come on, man. That's contrary. That's friction in the scriptures, man.
This is something for you to overcome.
Yeah.
It's just a test. Satan is desiring you. I got that in Luke 2.
Come on. Get that.
Verse 15, it says, "And then when lust had conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And when sin, it is finished, bringeth forth death. Do not err, my beloved brethren.
You know, because obviously we know that the wages of sin is death. You know, so you don't want to get caught up with no type of sin, man. You know, again, the most simplest thing, man, is to stay locked in, man. You know, especially in these times. You know, us believing that we're on, you know, this 2 minute drill that I love to say in the fourth quarter, man. All right, we're seeing a lot of shit, you know, transpire, man. You know,
Shit, we down to about 30 seconds now.
come on.
We got about 2 timeouts, about 3 plays left, man.
Good, man.
Yeah,
And the Lord about to come and kick the door down, man.
absolutely.
You know, because what we said, the game is rigged. You know, y'all wasn't gonna finish this game no way. The Lord about to come through and start giving blood, blood and gut treatments. You know,
Yeah. That was it for me. I got that loop if you want it. But, yeah,
The,
I know brothers hold on.
y'all brothers holding something.
I had a pre-sale with it kind of.
Con, hold on. You could get that. Hold on, there. Romans. Yep.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 31. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold. What was that? That's like it. It says, this is Luke 22 and 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
So like read it one more time.
God.
I'm talking. Come on.
It's Luke chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
Con. So Satan desired to sift you as wheat. All right, because we know, as we like to say, that the men of the Lord, you know, are the big fish. They're the big catch, the big game. Okay, all of these heathens are, well, not even heathens, like it. Disregard that. The 2/3 of our people, those are small fish. All right, that's easy money. These are people that's already locked in with their lust and in locked in with this world already.
Pleasures.
You know, pleasures. They already got. But these people right here who are fighting against the urges of the world, that's fighting against the urges of the flesh. All right, these are the people that Satan desires to sift. You know.
Yeah. Hey, man, you got to realize when you got Satan on your ass, man.
Yeah.
You know, you got to realize, man, and go throw some prayers up, man. Fucking Satan tripping.
Con.
You know, man, I got demons. Demons is fucking with me, you know?
Yeah.
You got to realize that. Why? Because as it says in, what's that, 1 Peter 5, you know? Brother, you got that?
Yeah.
Oh, Con.
I just told him. That's what I told him to grab. When I told
Okay,
you.
Con, I'll read 32 and you got it. It says, but I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Come on, man. And then we just bring out that Yahweh Shai is not out here trying to do evil unto you.
Yeah,
The Lord is saying that He praying for you.
yeah,
Come on, man. And He telling you, hey, when you get your strength, you know, pray for your brothers as well.
yeah.
I'm praying for you. You pray for your brothers. This is how we gonna make it out of this.
That's right, man.
Like, come on, man. The Lord cool with it.
Brother, the Lord to have a brother go through the same situation you went through. And now when you going through that situation, he right there guiding you step by step with it.
Yep.
All right, look, you got to do this, you got to do that.
Yep.
And once you finish that, you know, let me know how it goes, and then we're going to go from there.
Yep.
You know? So when thou art converted, and you go through these things, you got to have in the front of your mind, man, how is I praying for me? The brothers praying for me. You know, brothers been through this, get counsel, get advice. All right. And when you go through that situation, you might have a brother come after you and go through the same shit.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn to what? Strengthen that brother.
Yeah.
You know? You got it.
And that type of stuff right there, that strengthens you as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because we're not speaking on these things like these things never happened. This is real life experiences that Jake constantly go through, man. You know, we're in hell, man. Jake is constantly going through trouble. But again, as you see here, we got men up here of different, you know, various ages, you know, walking through their you know, the appointed times of life at, you know, the different times, whatever. You know, but again, we have this knowledge from each of our time zones that all work as a collective. You know, the wisdom and knowledge are ultimately from the scriptures, but again, our past life experience too for survival. You know, but you could get that Peter.
Con. This First Peter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant,
Mhm.
because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Seeking whom he may devour. Okay. And you know, when it comes to any type of hunting, you know, the prey that usually gets devoured is the weakest. It's the one that's solo. It's the one that's not really paying attention. You know, that's the one that when that lion is seeking, it knows that, oh, that's easy money. You know, you don't want to be that. You know, of Satan. You don't want to be, being devoured, by Satan by lacking. You gotta.
No, I just wanted to ask you that prey that's least experienced,
Mhm.
or that, and usually it's a babe.
Mhm.
When you see like the when the lions hunting, or what it is,
Gazelle?
those gazelles, you know, those different animals. It's usually one of them that's trying to walk, trying to get away,
Yep.
just newborn. But you know, our the elders and apostles say that's just like new men coming in the truth.
Yeah.
All right, newborn babes. All right, they're the freshest ones in it. They got the least experience. All right, they're the easiest targets. All right, for see.
Hey, well, know something? No, I don't know if brothers. I know y'all realize it, but when I say the point, you notice that obviously when those type of animals are being born, that they have to get down and start running. They automatically have to get on feet and
Yep.
have to be able to get away from shit like that. So it's either are they strengthened enough to get away in that time, or they're not. And you know that again, bring it back to what you just mentioned about the elders and apostles. You know, that could go back into us. You know, with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, we have to get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding right now and start running. You know, we got to run with this, man. Because if we don't run with it fast enough, Satan is going to devour us. We got a lion on our ass right now, man. So we got to get this wisdom as fast as we could, you know, and spread it as long and keep it as much as we, can, passing through the body, and get the crown, man.
It's just like that prey. We in the wilderness.
Yeah.
This the wilderness, and we got nothing but predators, and the whole environment is against us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got it, bro.
You got me thinking about the with David. David was fleeing and basically had his enemies.
So he was known for fleeing from
He was
Saul.
fleeing Saul, yeah.
Yeah.
It was another con I'm thinking about. Or it might have been one on his deathbed. I might be mixing it up, but you got it.
Verse 9. Whom resisted steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same affliction are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Con, just like read up on this.
Con.
What you were just saying?
5 and 9.
Yeah, read it all through again.
Con.
8. Read through 8 again.
First Peter 5 verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant,
Mhm.
because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
Mhm.
Whom resisted steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same affliction are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Con, we have to resist, man. We have to resist. And until the Lord comes back, man. Until the whistle blows. This game ain't over until the whistle blows. So we have to continue to fight. We have to continue to fight. For the spirit. In our faith, man. To obtain our salvation. But you can get that Romans for me, Baba Shaw.
Con. This is Romans 8 and verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh,
Mm-hmm.
but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. Verse 6.
Read it one more time.
Con. Romans 8 and 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Con, you can stop right there. Con. And we don't need to be, in that spirit of being carnal minded, man. All right, especially in these times, man. It's too late to fumble. You know, being carnal minded is similar to fumbling on a 1 yard goal line.
Yeah.
You know, you about to score, man. We about to get the hell out of here
Throw an interception at the one.
at the 1. Come on, man. You could have just ran it.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch.
I'm about to say,
Seattle Seahawks.
You know, but keep going. Verse 6.
Done. Romans 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death,
Mm-hmm.
but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
So to be carnally minded is death. You know, it's always death, but especially in these times, man, you basically, you know, wrote your name in stone, man. You know, that ain't going nowhere. You got a red dot on your head. You got it, bro.
Yeah, because with that carnally minded, it goes back into what? Being enticed.
Mm-hmm.
When you carnal minded, you just gonna go straight away. Whatever Satan telling you to do.
Yep.
Like they had the little meme or whatever, the angel on the right and Satan on the
Yep.
left.
Uh-huh.
You and Satan buddies. Like he just like chilling, he's smoking his joke, you know, and you just doing whatever Satan telling you to do, you know, you just gone. That's why I said being carnally minded is that, because you just gone, totally gone in the world, man. You know?
That brother's got it, bro.
told me earlier too. That was a great one.
Yeah, that's correct. This is Proverbs 25 and verse 28.
Mhm.
It says, "He that have no rule over his own spirit
Mhm.
is like a city that is broken down and without walls."
So what's the purpose of a wall around the city? Defense, protection. Come on. All right. So a man that has no rule over his spirit is like a city that has no walls. You have no protection, man. You know, you're completely helpless. You know, if you have no control over yourself. You know.
Done. Just back you up. I seen a video on Instagram where this dude shot this tattoo artist that was giving this old lady number.
Mhm.
Now he done shot the man in the face behind this woman, but now you going to jail for the rest of your life, and she just gonna be another nigga's face. So what was the point? He couldn't rule.
And she gonna be taken by that man you shot in the face if he survived.
Nah, he out of here.
Oh, you go?
Yeah,
Oh, you got him out of there.
Oh,
it was like point blank.
I got him. You got out already.
Yeah, that was
Oh yeah. You got no.
Come on. This is Rock 19 and 1. It says a laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little. All right, and I brought that out because we've been going into, you know, being tempted, all right, being enticed by lust, by hobbies, all right, by things that you desire in the flesh, right? The more you give into it and give into it and give into it, all right, and you don't place discipline enough, it says shall fall by little and little. All right, so over time, it's gonna come to a point to where you completely fail. All right, you completely devoured, right? But you steady contentment, little by little by little by little, until to the point that's like you beating on a rock. It's gonna keep chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping until it all fall apart and there's no more. Right, but that's just likened unto, you know, being you giving into your lust, right, and over much of it. You gotta do. You can get that jank.
Come on. This James chapter 4. You said verse 5.
I think 8.
Fine.
7.
Verse 7. Submit yourself therefore to Yahweh. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
Resist the devil, he will flee. Okay, and obviously again we have the count with Yahushua. When Yahushua fasted, you know, he resisted Satan, and Satan flee. You know, but again that comes with having that discipline. You know, again, man, the Lord literally gives us, especially us, you know, trying to really visualize these things. You know, he gives us many things for us to meditate on, man, for us to overcome these battles, man. These are not uncommon, you know, things that we're going through, man. As the brothers, you know, we briefly, you know, went into, you know, men going into the same thing at different ages. But again, this is something that again, with the paraphrasing the Corinthians, that the Lord has ordained us to get over, you know. You got it. You got you.
Word.
All right, this is a real quick. Sirach 18 and verse 30. It says, "Go not after thy lust,
Mm-hmm.
but refrain thyself from thine appetites."
Con, refrain thyself from thy appetites. All right. You know, so when it comes to the things of the lust, man, you're not trying to be just completely 100% indulged in your lust, man. Of anything, man, you want to do everything to the best of your ability to get rid of it. But we know that it's not going to happen. All right. We know that that's part of the curses that we have to deal with, that we're still dealing with here in this hellhole that we're in, man. All right. But that doesn't mean not fight. That doesn't mean just give in to your lust because, hey, and that's a mindset of most niggas. Hey, we can't beat it. Might as well just join it. You know,
Weak.
that's
They already giving into their flesh.
Yeah.
So that's why they got that mindset. All right. They
Weak as hell.
devoured already. They don't have no more fight left because they got.
That and that will make them sinners
Yup.
because they indulge in that sin instead of trying to fight.
Mm-hmm. I had a word for you, bro.
You got it.
Yeah, I had that word refrain in online etymology. It says exercise control.
Yes, he said. We're gonna
So like,
This was just that word refrain that he had in Sirach.
real
In
one.
the online etymology, it says exercise control over.
God, exercise control over. Okay, so every day we have to exercise that control. All right. Again, doesn't mean that we're going to get it 100% correct, but you know, we're not here to get everything 100% correct. We're here to try to offend less. You know, to work. You know, to make that attempt. You know, that's all the Lord is looking for. You know, but again, exercising that. You know, talk about exercise. You have to exercise every day. You know, in order to build, you know, some type of endurance to anything. You know, so when it comes to this matter, you know, you have to continue to endure. You know. Yeah, verse 8 on that. Sure.
It's James 4 and 8. Draw nigh unto Yahweh, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded.
Purify your hearts, ye double-minded. All right, which we know that your heart goes back into your mind, which is your life. All right, so clean your mind, man. You double-minded. All right, you don't know who you're going to serve. You're going to serve Mammon. All right, or you're going to serve the Lord. All right, but once that your mind is clear, all right, and your eye is single, all right, the clear answer, you know, shows itself. All right, that's how about Shimei Shai, man. All right, but it says again, draw nigh to you. How about Shimei Shai? He would draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. All right, draw nigh to you. How about Shimei Shai, man? More of the story. Yeah, we keep going.
Verse 9. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned into mourning and your joy into heaviness.
Mm-hmm.
Humble yourselves in the sight of Yahweh by Shema Shai, and he shall lift you up.
Humble yourselves in the sight of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and he should lift you up. All right. So that's the power that we're dealing with, man. All right, we're dealing with a humble power. We're dealing with a power who will put you in your goddamn place. All right, but we're also dealing with a power who will lift you up, man. You know, and that's love. You know, to have somebody break you down to build you up stronger than you have ever been in your entire existence. Come on, man, it can't get no better than that. You know, and that's a gift being given, you know, from Yahweh by Shemel Shai, man.
Because everybody don't have the opportunity to develop mental strength.
Mm-hmm.
You can develop physical strength,
Yeah.
but the Lord is developing mental strength through the Spirit. You know, it's not something like brother said. You go pump weights, you got to get sore so you can break the muscle down, so that your body can send the message to your muscles to repair it. And when you repair it, that's making the muscle bigger.
Yeah.
Well, the Lord is doing that with our minds, fortifying our minds, which is our faith, man. You see?
You mentioned something, you know, through the Spirit first and foremost, you know, because how you say that, would you say
You about to say going down too.
You go to the gym and you physically have to work out. You physically have to get in there and go do these things. Okay. But when it comes to through the Spirit, you know, even when it comes to just reading the book, You could read the Bible and still not get it.
Mhm.
So it has to come through the spirit. It has to come through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you know?
Bro, they got bodybuilders. We know they
Yeah.
got bodybuilders and people with perfect muscles.
Yeah.
Like they done mastered every exercise and whatever. They done mastered every muscle,
Mhm.
every target they wanted to hit. But it means nothing because they don't got the spirit.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So it's like we can stop on that. Oh, you good? Yeah, bro.
Okay.
No.
This is Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
That's it. That's
Plain.
it.
Plain. One more time, bump your shirt.
Come, Galatians 5 and 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Man, that the spirit is our defense, man. All right. We are worms here. Jacob, that worm. Right. We are worms here. So that bubble, that shield that we have around us constantly, you know, the shield of angels that's constantly, you know, protecting us, man. You know, that comes through the spirit of Yahweh by Shemal Shah, man. You know, so stay in the spirit, man. You know, seek the spirit, seek Yahweh by Shemal Shah. You know, why he's close, why he's near,
Especially in this time.
especially in this time, brother. But pray that this lesson / camp was edifying. You know, trying to get out of here, we're gonna give infinite honors and prayers unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakadash.
the Balanas, to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, starters of truth. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect, the Akim, the Akwat, the brothers and sisters in Hebrew that believe. Shalom.
Shalom.
It's about to